Okay, so set 4 sash clamps up, get them roughly the distance you need them. Use something to protect the sides of your strings so you don't crush them with sash clamps. Just get it roughly in place. Number 3. Slide in. Okay, just roughly. Number 2. Try and make sure these sash clamps are square. Doesn't pull your staircase out square with that. Make sure the treads go up to the nosing. Get the clamps up just to hold it. So it's assembly time. We've done the dry assembly. We're happy everything's working. Just need to apply the glue now and get it all together. So this is the time when normally a staircase is much bigger than this and it takes a bit more effort. You need a few people around you. You need good planning. You need to make sure you've got everything to hand, because once you start applying the glue, as you can imagine, I mean, this is a tiny little staircase that shouldn't do me any harm, but if it's a long staircase and you've got half the glue applied and then you're looking around for a pin for a sash clamp or a mallet to knock your treads in, or maybe you're a tread missing, or I don't know, it can go wrong very quickly. So make sure you've got everything, dry assemble it, make sure everything's together dry assembled, and then when you pull it apart, just leave everything on the same bench if you can, or locally, and then hopefully you should be okay. Right, so we've got PVA glue, which is fine because it's internal. We've got both strings, we've got the treads, we've got the risers, they're numbered. We've got the wedges, I've just taken the wedges out, put them to one side. Everything's happy. We've got a sacrifice piece, so we can clamp onto that piece and it won't damage our fair face of our string. So that's quite often something that's missed and is a last minute, we need some little sacrifice pieces. We've got the newel ready to go on. It can't go on yet, but we've got it ready. We've got the dowels cut, so I think we're good to go. So applying the glue. Try not to do it with your fingers if you can avoid it. It's not good. It does say avoid contact with skin, so let's do it. Wear gloves if you can't avoid it. I prefer using some kind of paintbrush because it's just easier and quicker to get the glue on, and quite often it's easier not to spread it everywhere. So, a bit of PVA. I'm going to put glue on that top edge there, just where it contacts with the tread, okay? And on the front face of the riser. You can see why this is just a bit quicker than trying with a little stick or something. I've got a bit more control with the paintbrush. Into the nose in there, down there. Now I'm trying to get just the right amount on so that the glue is enough to make contact, but isn't too much that it's going to spill out everywhere and I'm going to end up with loads of cleaning up to do. If there's a bit of glue that gets on the surface, that doesn't matter because it's inside, just wipe it off while you can. I'm just taking that glue away from the surface in the hope that it doesn't all spill out everywhere. Right, so that's one. If you've got everything ready, it doesn't need to be a rush job this. You can take a bit of time and get just the right amount of glue on. If you take your time with the glue, you'll save yourself in the cleaning up stage. You'll notice I've prepared the bench with a nice clean piece of, well, this is MDF, it doesn't matter. A, because I don't want to get glue all over the bench. It will affect the next job. And B, because if there's any bits of debris on the bench, or maybe an old nail in there or something, it could ruin a really nice string at the last minute, just by rubbing a string up and down. You can see these benches are quite worn. Okay, now I'll just take that paintbrush straight across there, and I've noticed I've got some on the tenon. I don't want some on that tenon. A bit early for that one yet, so I'll just make sure I get rid of that. Okay, so that's all the treads and risers glued. I'll just put a bit in the end where the tread and well, mainly just the tread hits the string. Okay. This one, plenty on. I can be a bit more generous in these bits because these will just spill out underneath. Okay, right, so that's the glue applied, get that out of the way. Okay, so what do we do next? Let's get the crank set up. Slight grip on them cranks, only just to hold it there. Okay, risers, bottom riser. Number 2. Number 3. Right, so everything's in place. Let's just put these top scratch on there. Line them up with the bottom. Everything's nice and square. Square with the string, because it will help you and it'll help everything else. Now I'm just lining this sash clamp up so that I know I can bang the wedge in there and it's not in my way. Okay. On the bottom. So if this is a full staircase, you're probably looking at 8 to 9 sash clamps at the bottom, same again at the top. And it's a lot more gear. That's all good. Get the wedge and just tap the nose in forward. Put a reference mark on this inside for where this tread goes, because that's going into the newel and at the moment it's loose, there's not a definite place for it. So I've just made sure I'm lining everything up. So the back of this tread lines up with the back of that riser, and I've got a little pencil mark on there so I know that's good. Ish. There. So my treads are all in, hopefully. The risers are in. can start to put some wedges in place. You don't have to worry about having too much glue in these because it's under the staircase. So put plenty on. There. Right. So the glue's on. Just going to give it a bit more clamping now. Okay. I'll use my long wedge. One hole. Okay. Other side. Okay. Quick check underneath. Make sure everything looks happy. That goes in there, wants to go forward. Okay, that's fine, that's all glued. Leave that to dry now, and then we will put the newel on this one. And that's what it looks like from the top. Right, so we've got the bottom of the staircase. We just need to strengthen the backs now. Normally, on a normal width staircase, you'd probably have maybe 3 or 4 of these, just to strengthen the connection between the riser and the tread. We've just knocked some up on the jig, as you've seen, and all we really need to do now is plenty of glue on there. And do a good old rub joint again. So I've just about squeezed 2 on here really, only needs 1. About 1/3 of the way in, put it down, slide it backwards and forwards, and you'll just feel it grip. And then that's it. That rub joint, you've pushed all the air pockets out of the glue, it's formed a suction, and it's a very, very strong joint. It will be stronger than the timber when it's dry. So, plenty of glue on. Again, it doesn't matter if it's spilling out, but it's structural this, so it's actually holding some weight, so it's not for looking at. Slide it backwards and forwards, you'll feel the suction, that's it. You can just bang a screw in there if you want, if you feel you need to, just as a backup. Make sure it doesn't come through the front. But you really don't need to. You could just pop a little nail in there. It's reassuring that these are square and they're fitting nice and snug in that corner. So that's the glue blocks on. They're a bit overkill really for a staircase this size. And all it remains to do now is to put that newel on, put the draw dowels in, and the job's done.